In 0.3, GGG reworked the poison concoction from the Pathfinder Ascendancy. I've played the skill since launch and have some info to share with those who are interested. Starting with how the skill works, the new poison concoction now can no longer poison enemy, but will instead consume the poison on enemy to remove their life. I used the word remove here on purpose as the way it dealt damage is different from other skill. More on that later on the video. Here I will use real gameplay as example. You see I poisoned the enemy with a bow skill here. After the enemy's health bar turned green, I floated my poison concoction to consume that exact poison. That's how the skill looks like. The damage is calculated by the remaining damage of the poison consumed. What it means is that if I'm poisoning the enemy 10 damage for 10 seconds, that's 1 DPS, and I consume the poison with poison concoction after 1 second, the enemy will basically take 9 times 1.5 times damage. The 9 here is basically the remaining part of the poison damage from my initial poison, and the 1.5 is the multiplier from poison concoction. The DPS will basically become 30.5 here in this particular setting. Based on that information, you will think that to increase the damage, you will have to increase both the initial poison from A skill and the 1.5 multiplier from poison concoction, the B skill. That's what I thought before I discovered that the 1.5 multiplier is actually a fixed value. I did some testing using the same poisoning skill, the A skill, against the same boss. Testing the damage of poison concoction, the B skill, with and without using concentrated area as the support gems. Concentrated area is a damage increasing support gem that would increase the AoE damage by 30% as long as it is a AoE effect skill, and based on my observation, the damage remained the same in both conditions. I've also used some other supporting gems to decrease the damage instead of increasing it to see if there is any difference, but based on the result, I would conclude that the 1.5 numbers from the poison concoction is a fixed value. Back to the wordings from the info page in-game of the skill of poison concoction, you can see that it did not specify what type of damage it's dealing. Unlike any other skills, it didn't specify is it a physical damage, is it a chaos damage, or is it anything else, but it just stated that the removal of the enemy life will be a 1.5 multiplier here. In this case, if you want more damage, you will need to focus more on creating a huge and long-lasting poison. There's a few options here that can fit the requirement. I've listed a few here. All these skills guarantee poison and have a relatively long-lasting poison durations. You can pause to read and think a bit here. I'll focus more on explaining the one I chose as the poisoning skill, but you can use whatever skill you like as long as it can poison, but their effect might not be as good as the one I choose here. The one I chose is the Poison Burst Arrow skill. One characteristic of this skill is that the poison duration of the skill increases as you level up the gems, and it will even increase more after level 20s. So you would like to get a lot of a level increase for this gem. And another characteristic of this skill is that the skill effect duration from all the other source also affect the duration of poison from the Poison Burst Arrow. You can see here, with the increased duration support and also the increased skill duration from my skill tree, my poison from Poison Burst Arrow can last for 15 seconds. Another thing about the skill is that stacking poison on enemy does nothing to the damage. All it does is increase the radius of the acidic burst. Check out the clip here. I used snake bite to test out the skill. Here I stacked it 2 level of poison, two stack of poison on the enemy. With 1 hit of the poison concoction, it consumed it both stack and just deal damage as normal but with a bigger AoE. The damage is still calculated in the same way, but in this case the only benefit is that it will choose the higher damage among the 2 stack of poison. So remember, don't focus on stacking poison on the enemy. Jump to the ascendancy part. Remember, do not spec into the poison spread nodes, as you would have realized it by now. You first poison the enemy with another skill, then you consume the poison. Then the enemy dies. It means that they die without being poisoned. Therefore, there's nothing to be spread here. Big disclaimer here, all I said in this video could all be wrong. It's still a new skill after all. Some bugs might contribute to my experience with it. The last part of this video will be some simple mapping showcase to show you the playstyle of the skill. Feel free to correct my mistake in the comment section and let me know if you got any question. I'll try my very best to answer you. I'm Victor, thanks for watching.